Hi everybody, welcome to my kitchen. I am Bee from Thermomix. That is my little business, but I am a Thermomix consultant here in Australia, based in Brisbane, but absolutely serving and assisting customers nationwide. So today I hope you'll join me in my kitchen with a fantastic little recipe that is going to knock your socks off. So it's pulled barbecue jackfruit. So let's get started with this recipe, and I will just give you some information while it's cooking. So let's get started straight into it. The first ingredient is 2 teaspoons of your olive oil. I don't necessarily like using a lot of utensils, so here's a little tip for you. At the top right, you will notice some 3 horizontal dots, I should say, next to your next button. So at the top right, just touch on that and pull up your scales that will be on the little mini menu, and you'll be able to pour in 10 grams worth of olive oil. So the reason I say 10 grams is because roughly 5 grams is what a teaspoon is worth. So avoiding getting out the teaspoons, that's how you do it. All right, next is 120 grams of red onion. I'm just using my plain brown onion. So pop that in. Mine's a little bit over. It's okay if it's over. Don't be too concerned about that. And then adding in 1 clove of garlic. It's a massive garlic, which I honestly don't mind. And then next is to blitz this for 3 seconds and speed number 5. Now, what we will do is just cook this for a couple of minutes. I'm just going to make sure we scrape this down. And then while that is cooking, I'm going to make sure, give you some information about the next part of the recipe. So push next, and then it's going to cook for 5 minutes on 120 degrees Celsius, and that's on speed number 2. So that's the first portion of the recipe, which is cooking down your onions, sweating them down. No need to have to sit over a traditional pan. The machine is busy stirring that for you, and you can be doing something else in your kitchen. But in this instance, what I'm going to do is just walk you through the next portion of the recipe, which is essentially making a barbecue sauce. So if you're making, so I'm thinking of the meat version now, pulled pork. What you would do is cook the pork for a long period of time and let that obviously melt, so to speak, and that will, be finished, and then you prepare the sauce that you're going to get, or you're going to add to it. Or if you don't have a machine, you get a bottle that you stick in with it and heat it up. But obviously we have a Thermomix in our kitchen. For those of you that don't, I'm happy to help you with that. Please get in touch with me. My contact details are in the main portion of, whether you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, wherever it may be, my details will be on that platform. But get hold of me. I do have a website called thermitucker.com, and my information is there, and if you'd like to purchase a machine, absolutely go ahead there. So I'll be able to give you some support. But when you have a machine, it's pretty intense with the onion, sorry. When you have a machine, it means you can make things from scratch. And this afternoon I went out just to get a couple of things from the shop and actually noticed there was no bread on the shelves. Obviously, that's because of what's been happening in Queensland at the moment. But I honestly am thankful that I have a machine that will be able to help me not feel so stressed and worried that I won't be able to feed my family, because I have those ingredients, the raw ingredients, that I can then use in the machine to create what I need. So in this instance, I love this. Traditionally, I do not purchase barbecue sauce. I'm not a fan of that type of thing where you can get in the bottle. I'm not. So for me to make this, and I have had this a couple of times, that shows you that I'm happy with the end results. So it means that I know exactly what is in that sauce. That's the first option. Second option is you can't necessarily find barbecued or barbecue sauce jackfruit. So for those of you that haven't seen this and don't know, I am a vegan, so I don't eat animal products, and this is a wonderful substitute. This one specifically is the green, it says here young green jackfruit. So fantastic addition to have to your pantry, because like, you know, sometimes it's not just bread that is not available on the shelves for us in the fridges, but obviously no meat as well. So this is a great substitute to have. I promise you, you will be like surprised. People often ask me, so B, what does it really taste like? It tastes like chicken. I can't tell the difference, that's me. And I do love my meat. Before I became a vegan, that was what we would have very regularly. But obviously now, since I've swapped over and doing meat-free versions, I absolutely love what is available. And if you are just starting the journey to being a vegan or plant-based meals and you need some help, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you and walk you and guide you through the process of swapping over from what traditional meals or options are, swapping on over. But if you had, by any chance, let's say you are a meat eater and you wanted to have pulled pork, this is a tasty sauce to add to the pulled pork. So if you have the pork already made, you can actually put it inside once the meat, or I should say once the sauce is made. And a really great tip for you is to put the lid on and spin it backwards. So push your reverse button, speed number 4 for 4 seconds. So once you put your pork in, that will give you your shredded pork. So I will show you that at the end of this recipe using the jackfruit. But if you want shredded pulled pork, that's exactly how you do it. You add it in with your sauce for 4 seconds on speed number 4 and reverse. So that will be at the bottom of your little third dial. So let's carry on now. I have finished this portion of the recipe, which is cooking off the onions. I'll just show you what that looks like. You'll see there's some caramelization at the bottom. And what I'm going to do is just make sure I get my spatula and I remove that caramelization. It smells sensational. Very, very good. I'm actually salivating. It's that good. All right, so what I'm going to do is add the next ingredient. It is 40 grams worth of your tomato paste. So that should be roughly 2 big scoops. Yep. Here we go. And then the next ingredient is a teaspoon worth of red wine vinegar. In this instance, I am going to use an apple cider vinegar, and I will actually add just a little bit less, because I have made this recipe before. And the great thing about a Thermomix is you can make the recipe once, and if you want to adjust it, you can. And in my instance, I've just added a little bit less vinegar. All right, 2 teaspoons of tamari. If you don't have tamari, you can use soy sauce. The reason it is tamari is because of the fact that it's gluten-free, and you can get gluten-free soy sauce as well. Sorry, I'm just concentrating so that I don't spill this all over the place. All right. And then 20 grams of coconut sugar. I'm just using my ordinary raw sugar. So this is organic. Not that it makes a difference, but I just try and buy organic wherever I possibly can. Now, the addition of that little sugar is to get rid of the acidity from the tomato sauce, or the tomato paste, I should say. All right, next ingredient is half a teaspoon of salt. And you can adjust that if you want to have more. The next ingredient is half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. I've actually finished my smoked, so this is just my normal. And then half a teaspoon, no, it's not, it's a little pinch of 1 or 2 pinches of chili powder. So if you don't like heat, just eliminate that part. And then there is an optional addition, which is liquid smoke, so seasoning, but I'm not going to use that. And then we're going to cook this for 2 for 5 minutes on 100 degrees Celsius and speed number 2. So I'm not going to hang around. I thought I would, but I'm not going to hang around because this will basically cook down. What I will do is explain the rest of the recipe so that you understand the process of it. And what I will do is include a picture of the finished product so you can see exactly what that jackfruit will look like. And remember what I said, you can substitute and you can put in meat in that version as well. So at the top, I'm just going to show you the recipe detail. That will take you to your screen where the information for your recipe originally is. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. So after this has cooked for the 5 minutes, we'll then stop it and it will ask for your jackfruit. This specific can is only 300 grams, but it does call for 565 grams worth of your jackfruit. So it's canned. Just a little great tip for you is to make sure that you drain it and you rinse it, because it comes in brine usually to maintain it. So make sure you do that before you add it to your sauce. And then what you want to do is actually add that and cook it for 5 minutes. So 100 degrees Celsius on reverse, and that will be speed number 2. Then when that's done, scrape down the sides, and then here's the magic, it's when that happens, is actually the blitzer. And on here it says 5 seconds, reverse speed number 4, and then serve. So it's an extra little second than what I recommended earlier, but that's okay. And for us this evening, we'll be having some warm tortillas with some sliced up iceberg with this, and some tomatoes and some guacamole. So that is a great addition for the midweek meals when you don't have lots of time. Literally this recipe is super quick. If you wanted to save even more time, you could, after this step here, make this ahead of time, perhaps on a Saturday or a Sunday if you are very busy during the week, and then put that aside. And this, you'll just come into this recipe, pull it up for whichever day that you've planned to cook this meal in, add your jackfruit, add the sauce, cook for 5 minutes, and blitz. It's that simple. So if you have any questions about this recipe, or you need some more extra hints and tips, feel free to contact me at thermitucker.com, and I'll be happy to help you. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day, what's left of it. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. I'm Bea from Thermitucker. Take care.